What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. The remote to my camera just broke, so I'm sure you just saw me start the video. So I don't edit videos, and I don't I just kind of freestyle it. So I will get that fixed, and I apologize. Hope everybody's doing well. The weather in New Jersey is miserable. It is so friggin' cold. I don't mind snow. I don't even mind the winter, but these last couple of days have been awful, man. So I'm gonna try my first run in this weather and see what happens. So if you don't hear back from me, I probably have hypothermia. Before we get started, I just want to wish an enormous congratulations to Frankie Edgar, who's going into the UFC Hall of Fame. What a well-deserved honor. Frankie is an absolute legend in the sport. You know, he's a 145er, 155er who always fought bigger and tougher guy. He fought the best and the best. He was always undersized, but his grit, his determination, his heart, his character, he became a champion, beating BJ Penn. But man, what an incredible career. I was quite fortunate enough to watch him train throughout a lot of his fight camps, to watch his sparring and watch the tone he set for the gym. He was a captain of the Iron Army, but a tremendous role model, leader, always gave back to the community. Also, I was an up-and-coming podcaster, and I did an MMA podcast, and I was able to interview Frankie several times, and he was so respectful and so nice. I'm like, dude, I'm a nobody, man. Like, my podcast is nowhere near where everybody else was. He was respectful. He gave me any amount of time I wanted, well-thought-out answers. I also got some quotes for a magazine article I wrote about him. So, man, congratulations, Frankie. And thank you so much for just always helping me out. In terms of the Jets, the last couple of weeks have been interesting. You kind of digest the season, the aggravation, the frustration, and then you watch the playoffs and you say, okay, how far away are the Jets from these teams? Are the Jets literally a quarterback away, or what else is going on? And you see a lot of interesting things, man. The Houston Texans are really impressive. CJ Stroud, you figure, is only going to get better. You know, the Dolphins had a great season, but, towards the end, they kind of fell apart. The Browns could be a quarterback away. They did a lot of good things with Flacco. But I think the one thing you saw was it's a lot of the mobility of the quarterback, the arm strength of the quarterback, and the coaching. Special teams, obviously, too. But coaching, it's all about the adjustments. When these defenses are blitzing and doing all these things, how do you adapt to that? Can the quarterback make these plays through adversity and stuff like that? So, as a content creator for the Jets, it's really interesting to see how all the reactions are going to be. Do you head into this 2024 season with a lot of optimism? Are you skeptical? You have a season like this year where the offense was historically bad, and the team as of now has been kind of arrogant, be like, we're bringing everybody back. We're not making any changes. I think over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see changes, whether it's a subtle front office change, or maybe they tinker with the offensive staff. Could you have guys like Deuce Staley out there or other prominent coaches that are very qualified? As a fan, you can be frustrated when you see the level of head coaches that are out there, the Harbaughs, the Belichick, who I know would never come here, but Vrabel, Pete Carroll, all these guys, like, man, like in any other year, we would be clamoring for them. You'd see endless video after endless video. Go after Pete Carroll. Go after Vrabel. We need Jim Harbaugh. And now it's kind of like we've all kind of accepted the fact the Jets are going to run it back with, Saleh, Ulbrich, Hackett, and going forward. So in terms of, like, what is your outlook on this team going into the season? And it seems to me like it's a fan base divided. And the perfect example of that is when the announcement of the new uniforms. Like, the Jets are going back to the legacy uniforms, which you all love. And some of the fan base is ridiculously excited. Can't wait to buy this. Can't wait to buy this. Then there's the other part of the fan base that's just like, dude, I don't care about the uniforms. I just want to go to playoffs. I want to win football games. Like, it's like smoke and mirrors stuff. Like, all right, we're going to reveal these new uniforms. Meanwhile, I'm worried about the offensive line, the coach. We need a wide receiver. So I'm curious to see where everybody stands. Like, what's your outlook? Because to me, it's like I'm taking this time off just to kind of regroup and reset. It's hard to, when you look at all these organizations, it's hard to look at the Jets and not have some amount of concern. But at what point do you just become a fan? Like, like nobody, I do the show with Ian. It's like nobody wants to hear negativity all the time. You don't, because it gets old. Like, nobody likes doom and gloom and this is bad and that's bad. But at the same time, you don't want to just throw things out there to try to, I'll never chase clicks. I'll never chase views. I don't chase subscribers. Like, I talk to you like I talk to my friends if I'm sitting in a bar or sitting at a barbecue, right? So I can't throw out things like, well, this is great and that is great and this is great. I mean, if you look at the Jets, honestly, the defense is still very good. They may lose Bryce Huff, which to me is concerning. I don't really like that too much. But they're going to make some adjustments. maybe get a better safety. You know, a lot of these guys, and, you know, Sauce Gardner year 3 could be better. Jermaine Johnson could be primed for a monster year. You hope Will McDonald gets better. Quinton Williams is still in the peak. CJ Mosley, is he going to start heading? Is there going to be like a little step down sooner or later? But you have faith in the defense to keep you in games and do great things. Special teams, I mean, they have a lot of free agents with Morstead and Zerline, but you got to think that the Brant Boyer, they're a very good special teams unit that's normally well coached. So you have confidence in there. When it goes to the offense, you genuinely don't know what to expect. And that's like, you want to have, like, as a fan, you want to have this blind faith that you're going to get back a very motivated Aaron Rodgers who's in the best shape of his life, who's going to play a high level of football. The problem is we haven't seen it, right? So this year we were all so excited. We're going through training camp. He only played in the Giant game in preseason. You're so excited, but you haven't seen him. So you haven't seen him this year in this offense with these players. The year before that, the Packers, he was banged up, still put up good numbers. So the first question is, what version of Aaron Rodgers are you getting? And like I said earlier in this video, the one thing you notice in the playoffs is you've got to be a mobile quarterback, man. All these guys have the ability to extend plays. So if your offensive line does break down, can you manipulate, manipulate the scheme enough to get the quarterback free to make throws? So Aaron Rodgers has shown the ability to, extend plays or get rid of the ball quickly, but that's the one thing you worry about. So it's like, what version of Aaron Rodgers are you getting? What version of the offensive line are you going to get? I mean, at some point, they have to get better, right? And now a lot of people are saying you got to cut Tomlinson. That means you basically need 3 new starters. So you want 3 new starters, get them all to gel with an offensive line coach and offensive coordinator you're not so sold on. So again, where do you sit in that? Do you have a level of faith that, you know what, Rodgers being back, is a quarterback that can help you win games, which I think we all believe, but can he help this coaching staff right the wrongs with the scheme or maybe the communication issues on the offensive line? Maybe he can call things out. Maybe he can be that force, be like, listen, this isn't going to work. We've got to fix this, or kind of cater to that. Then it's like, what level of faith do you have in Joe Douglas just upgrading the wide receiver group, which I think is desperately needed? I know the articles are all coming out today about Allen Lazard, like, Rodgers is going to make him his project, like the Allen Lazard project, to rejuvenate him and get him back on track. But to me, it's like, you can't stop there. Garrett Wilson is going to be a superstar, but he needs help. If defenses are going to key on him, you got to find somebody else. So if it's not Lazard, who is it? I think we all kind of agree Davante Adams is not going to be leaving the Raiders now that Antonio Pierce is going to be there. Maybe that changes at the trade deadline, but you can't wait that long. T. Higgins is going to have an enormous market if he hits free agency. Michael Pittman too. Like, it's great to say I think all teams want the same players. So it's like, what's going to make them choose the Jets? It's going to be money and opportunity. Well, opportunity, you could be a legit 1A to Garrett Wilson playing with Aaron Rodgers. Then it could come down to money. Or are there better offers available? You've seen a lot of teams out there that need wide receiving help. You see the Chiefs. You see a lot of teams, so even a Mike Evans. Mike Evans is enjoying his run right now with Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Do they say, you know what? We want you to retire a Buck. We want to keep you here. So like the wish list that everybody has could diminish quickly. And then it's like, all right, how do we handle that? Do you find second tier guys? Do you look in the draft? So then it comes to, what is your perspective on, Hackett and Rodgers maximizing the current resources the Jets have on this team if they can't get the big fish? Secondly, is what is your level of confidence in Joe Douglas helping improve this rebuild and do all these good things? Because right now, if you think about it, in free agency, he struggled a little bit, right? So is he going to be all in and be ultra aggressive to get guys? In the past, he hasn't gotten those guys, whether it's Beckham, Calais Campbell, Fletcher Cox, all these guys. The list goes on, Orlando Brown. Will this year be different? And I think in a win now year like this, it has to be different, right? Because if they don't, like, this is like a 1 to 2 year window that you have to be all in, and Joe Douglas has to find ways to give this team the best chance to win, because after this, we're back into the unknown. You don't have a quarterback. So what's your level of confidence in Joe Douglas? So it's going to be interesting, man. I'm just curious to see where the fan base stands. Like, I don't really have an opinion. I'm not excited about the uniforms. I genuinely don't care. Like, to me, I'm in like the whole just prove it mode right now. Like, you got to really prove to me that you know what you're doing. You have a blueprint. And once you get in the training camp and everything else, you put it on the field and you get results. Like, I don't care about One Jet Strive. I don't care about the videos, the hype videos, all this other stuff. I genuinely don't care. Like, I'm at the point where I'm not hating on the Jets. I fall in that skeptical thing. I'm like, you want to be an optimistic fan and like, go, this is my team. Like, I wear Jet stuff all the time, but I guess I'm in that skeptical point where you just got to prove it to me now. Like, I don't care about the tweets. Like, you really got to show me that you have a legitimate plan that's going to be a win-now plan that's going to help get Aaron Rodgers and this team into the playoffs. Maybe even make a run at the AFC East, because the AFC East is loaded. I mean, Dolphins are there. The Bills are there. Everybody wants to, discount the Patriots. I don't worry about, like, the Bills and Dolphins are whipping our ass right now. They're winning. They're going to the playoffs. The Jets aren't. So I don't care about the Patriots. It's about, catching up with the rest of the division. So let me know what you think. Are you optimistic? Are you down on the team? And I'll talk to you later.